Chapter 8. I steered the boat past the harbour, then Grandad switched off the engine and we drifted upriver with the incoming tide. We passed Grandad's house and carried on until we were next to green fields. Grandad dropped the anchor and the boat tugged up the rope while the sea flowed in past us. "That's Maggie Williams' farm," said Grandad, pointing to a farm building further up the hill. The hedgerows were overgrown and the farm building looked empty and shabby. "She died last year. Her land goes all the way over the hill and down to the marsh here. Her son lives in London and wants to sell up." It was getting colder now and Grandad saw I was shivering. He went into the cabin to get a blanket and wrapped it around me. "Look to the northern sky," he said, pointing beyond the mountains. "Look, here they come. The north wind is bringing them home." High above, the sky was deep blue. It was such a deep colour that a few stars had begun to twinkle. The thin clouds were rimmed by gold and the rays of sun setting. Then I saw them. There was a line of birds in the distance, shaped in a V. I could see about 20 birds against the sky, and as they drew nearer, I saw their long necks outstretched, and their wings beating. One bird led the point of the V, and the others followed. "Hooper swans," Grandad whispered, "all the way from Iceland." "Iceland?" I said. Grandad nodded. "The winter is milder here. They stay here all winter and then fly back to Iceland in March to breed." The swans arrived quickly, filling up the sky with their honking calls and the creak and the swish of their wing beats. Their white feathers gleamed gold in the sun as they flew in a low circle above the estuary. They came right down over the Neris Jane, right over Grandad and me. They were so low I could see their feet tucked up underneath them. Then they came into land on the marsh beside the green fields, back beating their wings and putting their feet out to slide along the water. They were big white swans with yellow beaks, tipped with black. They waddled into green fields, flapping and honking each other before bending their necks to feed on the grass. They return every year to this estuary, to Maggie Williams' field by the marsh. Locals called them the Swan Fields, said Grandad. The swans bring the winter with them. We watched the swans for a while. Grandad was looking through binoculars and writing numbers in a small book. "I write down their leg ring numbers," he said. "Then the scientists can work out which birds return." As the sun sank even lower, it became difficult to see, so Grandad started the engine, pulled up the anchor, and we steered back to the harbour. It was strange to put my feet on solid land again. I felt heavy, stuck back in the old me. I pulled my hood over my head and stared out at the Neris Jane bobbing in the harbour. All I could think of was that I wanted to get back out on the water where there was no talk of school, no school bells, no homework, no tests or timetables, no walls or corridors. Just the wind, the waves and the white, wild swans. A place where the world was turning. A place where for the first time in a long while I'd felt free.